You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Autumn Wind Williams. You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football. We are now inside the Pro Bowl weekend. The season is almost a wrap. Baseball season right around the corner. And what I'm doing after this video is head downtown Oakland, Jacksonville Square. We have the Oakland A's Fan Fest. Got my Steven Scotty t-shirt on. Black Oakland A's hat. And just ready to get out there and have a lot of fun. Also got the XFL season coming around the corner in 2 weeks, guys. XFL is back in our lives. First year of DFS, and I'm going to be providing you content for that as well. Oakland Panthers, they're coming. That's right. You guys don't know about the new Arena Football League going on in Oakland that started by Marshawn Lynch, the co-owner. I'm excited for that too. I might even get season tickets. But yeah, you guys are here for DFS, for a little bit of advice for Pro Bowl, and I'm going to provide you a little bit of what I'm thinking about doing. I know how tough YouTube and DraftKings been on everybody, all the DFS providers, looking at us as part of casino content when we're not. We're not a casino content type of provider. We're DFS providers. We're trying to have fun and make a little bit of money at the same time and help you guys out as well. So what I'm going to do is get into what I'm considering for tomorrow's Pro Bowl, AFC versus NFC in a 2020 showdown. And I'm really in a conundrum when it comes to quarterback, whether or not I should play Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. I'm not really looking at playing Ryan Tannehill. You know, I'm an AFC guy, first of all. AFC's been winning the Pro Bowl, so that's who I got to select as my quarterback. But I'm looking at is Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson's first year playing in the Pro Bowl. But John Harbaugh, the Ravens coach, is also the AFC head coach this year. I doubt that he wants to have Lamar Jackson go out there and risk an injury and struggle in the offseason trying to rehabilitate to be ready for the 2020 season. So I think he'll be the first quarterback out there to play maybe a few series, then he's out. And Ryan Tannehill doesn't really throw the ball that much. I'm kind of thinking more Deshaun Watson, because I'm looking at, say if I even put Deshaun Watson in the captain spot, I'm saving $2,400 compared to Lamar Jackson's price. And Deshaun Watson's price, it's more of a bargain because Deshaun Watson can possibly go out there and do the same thing that Lamar Jackson would have did as far as fantasy points. I mean, he can use his legs for yardage at almost an equivalent level, and he's going to throw some deep passes too. You don't have Hopkins in the game. He's sitting out for the Pro Bowl, but he does have some well-equipped wide receivers. I'll get into one later on in this video. AFC, I'm not really considering playing the quarterbacks. We have Drew Brees. He's been there, done that. Russell Wilson, you know, his coach is Pete Carroll. He's coaching, so he might let Russell let loose on everybody. Russell might use his legs too. If I play anybody on the AFC side, it will be him. Maybe Kirk Cousins. I don't know. I know what I'm going to do is have a lot of two quarterback, two tight ends in my lineup. So maybe a Russell Wilson and a Kirk Cousins, or Deshaun Watson and a Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins. Something like that. Just for you guys to think about utilizing yourself too. Moving on to running back. I'm not really considering playing running back that much this year because I've just been reviewing highlights for the recent, the past 3 years of Pro Bowl. And I noticed how the running backs are not utilized that much when it comes to the Pro Bowl. I mean, I'm seeing an average, 25, 30 rushing yards. You'll be lucky if you get a touchdown from a running back. I know you got a lot of pass-catching running backs these days, but it doesn't look like they're being utilized when it comes to the Pro Bowl like they have in the season. So it's like a risky chance playing a running back. I mean, it kind of would be interesting to play Alvin Kamara, Drew Brees at quarterback, Michael Thomas at receiver, and Jared Cook at tight end. Saints on slide. I might do that in one lineup at least. Play 4 guys from the Saints that's all in the Pro Bowl and stack them up. I don't know. What are my chances? But, you know, if I play any running back, I'm likely going to play one of the guys that is in the fullback position. They're listed as a running back, but they're actually fullbacks. And one guy I've been thinking about playing is C.J. Ham. I don't know. I'm looking at what Anthony Sherman did last year. You know, Anthony Sherman, the fullback for the Chiefs. He got out there, got touchdown. I think he caught a few passes. And, like, say if I use Kirk Cousins, I can stack him with C.J. Ham. And if I'm expecting NFC to be behind in the game, Kirk Cousins can possibly throw a little bit of dump-off passes to C.J. Ham because the fullbacks are going to get a lot of play in tomorrow's game on both sides. So I think that's something I might take in consideration, but running back is just risky playing in my lineups. All right, moving on to wide receiver. I told you I was going to point out a wide receiver for you guys that I'm really looking into playing a lot on my lineups. And that's DJ Shark of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is his first Pro Bowl for this rookie. That's right. He started off the year amazing, winning people a lot of money. They were singing a DJ Shark do song. I remember that. Every last DFS provider was singing that song like it was a hit song on the radio or something. But, you know, the team, they just went downhill. It looked like a lot of them gave up. But he did earn his Pro Bowl spot this year by catching 8 touchdowns off of 73 receptions and gaining a little bit over 1,000 yards. And, you know, first and second year Pro Bowlers, I like targeting to be in my lineups because they're a bit more eager and hungry, more than the veterans, pretty much that been there and done that, like I said, with a Drew Brees or something. And first, second year Pro Bowls, they're just going to be on the field a whole lot more. And that's what I'm looking for is guys that's going to actually be on the field more. And that's going to open opportunity for them to get receptions, get a touchdown. It's just a smart decision to do. You want to have guys that's definitely going to be on that field, whether or not you feel like they get a lot of targets. They'll get more targets than veterans that just want to play 1 or 2 series and sit on the sideline. So, yeah, think about that when you do your lineups. Like I mentioned with quarterback, I'm going to have a lot of double quarterbacks, and I'm going to have a lot of tight ends, and I'm going to target tight ends heavily. I might even put 3 in a couple lineups. You know, I know it sounds weird to have less running backs and more tight ends, but this is what we've seen the past recent years in the Pro Bowl. Tight ends are utilized a whole lot more in the Pro Bowl. Running backs, they're tired. And nobody want to watch a running game in a Pro Bowl. They want to see how deep these quarterbacks can throw and get touchdowns. And they've been focusing on that heavily. Now we're looking at Mark Andrews from the Ravens, Jack Doyle of the Colts. They're the only tight ends available right now for the AFC. So, you know, that's opening your chances for more opportunity with those 2 guys due to Travis Kelce is not playing the Super Bowl. But I wonder if they'll try to bring on overnight Darrin Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders. He got snubbed. They picked Jack Doyle over Darrin Waller? Even though I'm pissed off about the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, Darrin Waller definitely was Pro Bowl caliber. They should get him a red-eye flight tomorrow and let him play. Only if DFS sites like DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, Fantasy Draft put him in the lineups. If they don't, Darrin Waller, sit your ass down. Because I don't want to catch 2 touchdowns and none of us get opportunity to get any of that money. Far as the NFC, Austin Hooper, Jared Cook, who's in for George Kittle, because he's going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Man, I'm looking at that Saints onslaught. I'm really considering that. But if I do anything with the NFC as far as tight ends, it's going to be Austin Hooper and Jared Cook. I'm not too sure about Zach Ertz. I'm still nervous about that injury and something wrong with his kidneys. And he wasn't really doing much that last game he played, man. To me, he was more out there like a decoy. So I'm kind of shying away from Zach Ertz. Maybe one lineup if I do consider to play him. Now moving on to defense. I'm playing both sides of the field, man. When it comes to defense, like I mentioned with quarterback, they like to throw the ball deep in the Pro Bowl, and it's less rushing done in this game, and that opens opportunities for interceptions and possibly pick sixes based on recent history. So that's what I have for you guys. As far as the Pro Bowl, I normally don't do showdown slates. I didn't give you guys my quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense like I normally do every single week, because that's just giving away too much. I feel like it's better for me to analyze a little bit of what I'm thinking about doing, since we got limited slots that we can fill, and a lot of people are going to have pretty much the same lineups. So I just gave you a gumbo pot selection right there. Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Alvin Kamara, CJ Ham, DJ Shark. I did give you a definite wide receiver I'm going to have. Tight end position, pretty much all of them except for Zach Ertz. I'm going to be having in my lineups, as well as both defenses. Yep, NFC and AFC. I hope it is a lot of pick sixes. Oh yeah, man. But I'm about to head out and represent my Oakland A's, and I'm just hoping you guys build those lineups strong, and most of all, just win, baby. Peace. I'm out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 Podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.